Alright, this seems to be working. So, um, I recently saw a method for using Adobe, what's this called? Adobe Capture to take sketches and turn them into like shapes in Illustrator. And I've been having some issues drawing on the computer, and so I decided to give this a try because this would make at least the drawing process a little faster. So, I have these sketches that I've been drawing for upcoming projects. Um, and I decided to try this method out. So pretty much, you just take a picture of it in shape mode. And then you see it creates like a black and white image that will become like a vector shape in Illustrator. And it's probably not the best method for the way I'm doing it because I actually like colored these images. Um, I mean, colored is kind of a strong word. I used colored pins and created these. Um, I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about, but hopefully you saw it just a minute ago. But I have these really cool pins that I really like to use. They're just like ink pins for like stationery or whatever. Nothing fancy. But I have one that's black, red, green, blue, and then I have another one that's pink, kind of a lighter blue, a light green, and purple. And I really like sketching with them because they are pretty colors. So I decided to just kind of sketch these out, hoping that that would make the process a little bit faster once I got to the actual like computer drawing stage. So I'm trying out this app. So pretty much, I just took a picture of my sketch, and now I am making some slight edits. I cropped it. I took out some of the noise that was in there, and now I'm using their smooth tool. And I just save it, and it saves it supposedly as an SVG. So I have a bunch of these, and so I figure I'd just kind of go through them. So just as a, like I was saying before, I was drawing these images, and so I have, this is like the black pen that I was using for the outline, and then for the coloring, I was using these. So this nice pink, this pretty blue, this interesting green that I just decided I was probably going to replace with yellow when I got it onto the computer. And then the other, and then this purple. Um, and then this darker blue that's in this image is from the black pen. So, I think it's a way to do things. So recently on Twitter, I have been posting images from a that I've been or illustrations that I've been creating for some courses with a company called Life Omics, and this is the this is the second course that I will be working on with them. But I've been having some technical issues, in addition to, of course, some health issues, and so just kind of working on the computer has become a little frustrating, and it's a little difficult for me to work on the computer in general. So I just decided, hey, what if I did it a little bit more traditional media? And of course, I like mixing traditional media with digital media. And what's interesting is this method just kind of came across my feed one day. I wasn't really looking for it. Um, but I thought it was really cool, and I already had this app downloaded because I use it for color palettes. Because you can like take pictures of stuff and pull the color palette from it. And y'all know how much I love color palettes. Um, but yeah, so since you could do all that, I just decided to. I already had it on my phone, and I didn't really think about using it for this. But when I saw the article, I immediately thought about this project and these sketches that I had drawn. Now, of course, this would be nicer if it would like pull the colors too. But I mean, I'm not going to be too picky because if it actually helps me get these done quicker, then that's pretty great. So one thing I'm not liking about this so far is that there's not really a lot of options. It's like I can refine it, but because I'm on my phone and then an eraser, so I can't say like. I mean, if I had been thinking about this when I did this, I probably would have used a pen of some sort, like a nice dark pen. But there's no way to like adjust what it sees as white and black. So, like, here's a power bank, and you can kind of see it just kind of decides, which is fine. I mean, my fault for not knowing to do this earlier, but that's fine. So also for streaming, since I'm not streaming on my computer, I'm using an app that I was introduced to called Streamlabs. But obviously, I forgot to turn off all my notifications and things, so those are showing up, which is probably not the best, but I'm not too worried about it. And sort of what I'm hoping I can do is I can make these shapes and then I can throw them over into, make these shapes in Illustrator. And then I can throw this over to Photoshop to do some texturing. So I've done a lot of texture, and a lot of the stuff that I do the texture in Illustrator, but this project's kind of big, and creating texture in Illustrator is not really the most straightforward thing. So it just takes much longer to do it in Illustrator. And I feel like I have less for the textures and how they go down onto the canvas, if that makes sense. So when I did the mock-ups of this, I did the mock-ups I drew some backgrounds in Illustrator, and then I switched over to Photoshop and I started doing, uh, even using the vector tools in Photoshop for the backgrounds and then drawing the rest of it just with the normal brush tools in Photoshop. So I started working this, and then I was like, hey, maybe I could stream this. So, of course, my phone was dying and everything else, but I figure, why not? Why not just give it a try? Because if I'm working on something, I mean, might as well share it. This is probably going to take a minute. Because it's a pretty complex. I mean, the image isn't complex, but just because I drew so many lines to color in the dress, it's a little complex. Oh, I left something out of that one. This little dude's supposed to be in there. I'll just do them separate. So as I was drawing these, again, these were just kind of supposed to be sketches that I would, work on and then digitize. But as I started drawing them with the colors, they're kind of the colors I chose anyway for this. And I started really, really falling in love with the pattern, like this texture um, of this character. And the texture is like, and just kind of piling those on themselves. But I just really, really enjoyed how that texture came across in the pin work. And so I may or may not use these that I'm doing right now. I might just use the pictures that I've taken and pull those into Illustrator and then make those vectors in Illustrator and then pull them into Photoshop for finishing up. But I figure I'll do a few of these um, and try out some different methods and see which one works best. I'm pretty interested with how it picks up pin lines in this too, because I did that swirly method to put down these lines, and I don't know. I mean, it's pretty cool. But it sees like the difference in the lines when they overlap, which is kind of neat. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching to anyone who watches this, and tell me what you think of this app and using it for this method. If you ever done this before, and like, what did you think of the sketches as far as how they look once they're created in shapes in this app? Have a good one. See you next time.